Now, good evening, my fellow Ambazonians. I want to come for can salute all una today for this number 11 day for the month of January for 2021. Today, all we don't woke up yesterday with the news for which it don't happen for Mautu. So my talk for this evening. So now for make we talk about Mautu, and then I would tell una wetin be poor beer their hidden agenda for carry out these kind crimes and why they do them systematically and why they would do them again in the coming months. I get two important things that we're going to talk about today. We'll talk about the Mautu incident, why they do them, because we get to understand their game. But the most important thing, now the Ambazonian people, they respond. Now how Ambazonian they go respond, because the kind respond we will give them, it will determine how La Republique will behave in the future. All right? So two things I will talk about. Why La Republique do Cameroon commit this kind of massacre them for Ambazonia, and what it will be the Ambazonian people that respond. All right? Two things. Very powerful outing today. We'll start small time. We'll look for the people then for ACN. We'll make sure say that they bring we for ACN so that we also talk for ground zero. So one as they talk one take one stone, we shoot two birds. We do for Facebook, and then we do them directly also for people then for ground zero. Okay? So we'll try for accomplish plenty things them all at once. When I welcome all many place there, I hope say as we start this week, it really start, even though we don't experience this or people don't experience this massacre for Mautu. I hope say the anger for which it don't happen. All right, the people for ACN they don't tell us so their life. So ACN people will thank on plenty that they tell us so their life. Very good. So make we start proper. I wanna for all our people then for Mautu, we want to tell when I say we don't hear what happen. Our prayers they do with all the families them for Mautu, all our papa them, our mommy them, for all the family where they don't lost loved ones, they don't lost family members, they don't lost their mommy them, they don't lost papa them, they lost brother them, they lost sister them, they lost speaking them. All now our Ambazonians and that, our mommy them that, our papa them that, our brother them that, our sister them that, our Pekin them that, with the colonial government of La Republique du Cameroon, Pobia. They don't give instructions, make a colonial army of occupation for do this kind of thing for our people then. So we send our prayers and our thoughts for all the families that would be directly affected and for the entire community of Mautu. I want to appeal for our people for Mautu and throughout the entire state of Fako for do everything humanly possible for these difficult conditions, for help those families as much as possible so that we all reduce the pain with the community, the families and the community that they face. We as a people, one of the reasons we don't collectively survive, now because in the face of this kind terrible incidents and events, where people they don't show a lot of love for one another, where people they don't show a lot of compassion for one another, where people they don't show a lot of caring for the people that will be directly affected and for the communities. So we Ambazonian people, are the only reason that the thing this will make we Ambazonians. The thing this will make we survive. So I call on all Ambazonians, even if you not come up from Mautu, if you know any family will be directly affected by this, do anything possible for support that family and for support the community. Paul Biya don't decide. For talks they say the lives of the Ambazonian people no matter. This one not been a new thing. Now a policy of the colonial state in order for them to impose their occupation, their will, their authority on the Ambazonian people. They don't do this thing since 1961. But now because say television not be there, internet not be there, telephone not be there, why people not be see what they happen. These things that don't happen to the Ambazonian people them since 1961 when they occupy our country. Now a systematic practice of La République du Cameroon, their government. Because in the past, television not be there, where people they fit send this information out. Cell phones, mobile phones, they not be there, where communities they fit report these things. So if something happen for Mao 2, people then for Manfe, they didn't even know what happened. People then for Kumba, they don't go even know. It will remain, it die. Unfortunately, because of social media, because of digital technology, because of the internet, these things are now, they're not hide them anymore. What happened for Mao to yesterday? Now, as a result of the defeat of Cameroon for Ambazonia, now the disgrace with the Ambazonian people, the defeat of the disgrace from the defeat with the Ambazonian people, they don't show phobia just for this the first 1 week of 2021. The shame, see the Ambazonian Defense Forces, they use that trap, they develop that technology, and they plan that ambush between Andek and Bengui. And it shocked La République du Cameroon. It shocked them to the centers of power. They not be ever believe. They think say the war don't be over. As Paul Biya promised them. Or as Paul Biya they lie them. As the enablers they lie them. As the traitors they lie them. Say the war don't be over. Things that they come back for normal. Ambazonia Defense Forces shock Paul Biya. They not fit accept them. They not fit believe. So we don't develop that kind of technology. The disgrace of that ambush, of which the Ambazonia people don't do for Paul Biya. For sure the international community say Paul Biya not fit win this war. And Ambazonia they just start. 2 days after, the big attack will happen for Matazen, for Santa. That disgrace with their military, they not fit fight with forces. That disgrace now, it spread. That news they spread. That news they give the Ambazonian people them confidence and joy and excitement. So any man we don't study La République du Cameroon, you know, say when Ambazonia they beat La République du Cameroon, defeat La République du Cameroon, when would they get good news? Where people they be very happy. They always do this kind of thing in order for lower the momentum of the Ambazonian people them, for lower their hopes, for lower their energy. That's why they go kill this speaking them for Mao 2. For move the shame. Probably want move the shame for the defeat. For Putam, for the killing of children. Because all man go to talk about it, and all man go know what they talk about the disgrace, the humiliation, the defeat of La République du Cameroon. As when I call them raison d'être, I think things are correct. For that they are French. Now the real reason this, where they commit the massacre, for shift the focus for this, because most people them, they will respond for this kind of events then with anger and then forget anything will be don't happen. So the military now tactics for shift their disgrace, shift the humiliation, and put now something where all man will talk about it. They not fit fight Ambazonian forces. So, but their real intention, this one, not their social intention, their psychological intention, these killings of our people, them, it the weakened community, it the frightened community, and therefore, it make them not make the fear now. They go the fear for commit, for the resistance. They go the fear for honor ghost town. They go the fear for listen to the call for lockdown. Now the reason this so they do these things. Now the reason this. I get very bad news for Pobia. The killings, the massacre of what picking them, what mommy them, what papa them, what brother them, and what sister them for Mautu, it don't instead give the Ambazonian people them the inspiration, the courage. It don't give we more courage. It don't give we more confidence. It don't make the anger. We not go be sad because sadness it lower our energy, the lower our frequency, the lower our vibration. The anger we don't take them, we turn them now for boxing, now for fight. We don't take them turn them for action. Wait till the Ambazonian Defense Forces. They don't plan them for Pobia and for the colonial army of La République du Cameroon. And for all the enablers. Una sabi say, na just before Christmas. Una sabi say before Christmas. One of the chief enablers, Agbobala, he and the other one where they call it say Mbelamoki. Una remember, they come out, they organize football. They go take money for Pobia. They organize football for Boya. Una remember, now in this, now them that. This one are just before Christmas. Agbobala, one of the person when I be responsible for Hele Pobia for draft their process of special status. We don't know they call him Belamoki, the colonial senator. When I remember, just before Christmas, they organized football for Osai, for Fako, for Tell Pobia. Sinobu will be tell you, things do not become normal. We don't buy all those boys them out. We don't bribe a lot of them. We don't get the other one, they go surrender for DDR. So if you count on we say the war don't be over, things do not come back on normal. We don't already make the ground, me be ready for you, for host Nation Cup Championship, and for show the world say, you don't defeat, as in they call them, the secession. You don't end the rebellion. Now then this one are just before Christmas. Nothing than this. It never reached 2 weeks. They call people then. They say, when I come for football field, when I forget about independence, that thing already end. When I come, probably I don't give una special status. When I can't celebrate una special status. Now the thing that they tell Ambazonians. Now the thing that they tell the people of Fako. Now the thing that they tell the people of Boya. They say, probably I don't give them special status. Everything will be fine for them. The military know the worry no man. Peace go calm. All man go live free. That's why Gobala and Belamoki they tell people them for Boya. Now ain't that. People they don't like truth anymore. They don't want dignity for people them. All they care about, because they don't become the new elites. Now all that will matter. As long as I don't become a new elite, it don't matter what the government do for the people them. It don't matter what the army do for the people them. Me, I be safe. I be protected by the army. I the trouble Pobia. I the trouble prime minister. I the trouble the senator. Now we be the decision makers. Now we did represent Southern Cameroons for the colonial state. So though, what happened for the people, them it no matter anymore. Now so they can't tell the people of Boya, say peace don't come. Pobia don't give them special status. Usa Gbobala day today? Usa the Mbelamoki day today? Now special state to this. Now the thing they say they call as a special status. Massacre. Now in that, now special state to this. Now in that. Now special status that. Now the special state to this. When Mbelamoki and Agbobala and all the enablers, they tell the Ambazonia people may they accept them. People, they call themselves say they be human rights lawyers. They call themselves say they be colonial senators. Now the special status that where they tell the people of Mautu to accept them. Now the special status is where they tell the people of Fako to accept them. Where they tell the people of Ambazonia to accept them. These traitors. Now the thing that they call a special status. The leader of a war of independence, it be warn the Ambazonian people then about this special status. And the work of the enablers for Selam. The people where they go bear the responsibility for the Mautu massacre. Now the Mbelamokis and the Agbobalas. Now they go bear the responsibility for the massacre. Now the Musonges. Paul Biya go pay for this massacre. Now I be the commander-in-chief of Cameroon Army. Now I go bear the responsibility for this massacre. Every single Ambazonia where they work with the colonial state as an elite, as a parliamentarian, and as a senator, every single one of them, they go bear the responsibility of this massacre. They go pay. Every person go pay a price for the killings of the Ambazonian people then. All those colonial chiefs, where they go talk, say they go vote for anything called special status and the House of Chiefs. They go bear the responsibility for this massacre. Not them go bear the responsibility. They go pay that price with Paul Biya. They go pay that price with the colonial prime minister of La République du Cameroon. They go pay that price with Atanganji. They go pay that price with the Cameroon Minister of Defense and all the top officials of the Cameroon Army, the Cameroon B, the Cameroon Gendarme, the Cameroon Police. I just did get this report as I become live. They say na number 6 massacre this will happen for Mautu. Number 6. For all the 6 of them, 41 Ambazonia where they don't massacre them for Mautu. 41. We'll not talk the one where they just kill them for here. The one where they just come, they keep people them all at once. Point blank range. Now 6 massacres. Well planned, well targeted, well executed, intentionally, deliberately, purposefully from Mao 2. Now number 6 this. 41 picking them. Boys, girls, mommy them, papa them, big mommy them, were auntie and were uncles them. 41 precious lives taken away of babies because you get a group of people where they make up 1%, less than 1% of the Ambazonian population, where they don't become what they call and say elites. They decide for play the part, for tell the colonial states, saying that them they represent Ambazonians. And therefore, probably if you do whatever I want, we'll get very bad news for all these people. Not in the 1960s. Not in the 1961 days. Special status now for La République du Cameroon. Now we, Ambazonians, we go give La République du Cameroon special status. Now we go give them special status. We go give them special status when we don't finish their, for move them for our country. We go give them special status of poverty. Special status for a country where we go scatter permanently. We go give them special status. The Ambazonian people will be free. Probably if he kill what people then, if he massacre, do all these things, the evidence of Ambazonian defeat of Cameroon, it be very clear. It be very clear. The massacre no go distract we. The massacre no go move we from our focus. The massacre no go weaken our commitment. The massacre it no go change any person's mind. Instead, it intensify our commitment. Forget these thugs. Forget these crazy people them. Forget these terrorists out of our land. Yesterday, the forces, you don't gather intelligence about place where La République du Cameroon they go spend plenty time. Say for evening, and for where they go spend time. So the Ambazonian Defense Forces, for implement their strategy, the commander will lead the FACO brigade, he and the intelligence unit. They get all their intelligence, they make their planning. And they target La République du Cameroon. For the bar where they call and say Las Vegas for Boya. Using explosives. The action be being for target Cameroon occupational military. When they be responsible for the terrorism and the massacres of Ambazonia. Now would you say La République du Cameroon, their agents, they are paid journalists, like the one that they call them CNA, Cameroon News Agency. They don't go to the right and say that transformer blow out, that transformer make boom for inside nightclub. Now which nightclub where they go put transformer inside? Now which nightclub where they go build transformer now inside nightclub? Not be nightclub, it did like hotel and it did like house. Now which one? They go build transformer inside. Cameroon did deceive itself. Ambazonia not be safe. And that their Nations Cup championship where they plan for Holston. Yesterday, it be been at the beginning of waiting the Ambazonia Defense Forces. Oh, I want to thank the good forces them. Now, two type of forces they did for the group where they call us the mountain lions. You get the one the way they don't brainwash them, the one the way they don't spoil their head, and then you get the good ones the way they fight for Ambazonia. Yesterday, the Ambazonia Defense Forces for the great state of Fako and the mountain lions, they get good collaboration. They get really good collaboration. Very good collaboration. For the great work where they don't do. Good collaboration. We want caught Captain Small Pikin Cafe for the kind leadership we bring them for the state of Fako. For harmonize and bring the forces together. For defeat a common enemy. Thank you, Commander Small Pikin. When I go hear more, the Ambazonia Defense Forces, the leadership don't give them a strategy of what they need to do. The guys that they work for all across Ambazonians were forces that they implement the strategy. Not be only for Fako, also for the city of Victoria. The city of Victoria and the city of Boya. No Nations Cup championship will take place. The Ambazonian Governing Council leadership, especially the State Department, they don't contact the United Nations, they contact the European Union, they don't contact the African Union, they don't contact the government of America, government of France, all the big countries for the world. They don't contact FIFA and they don't contact the country, I think they call it a CAF or a CAN. The organization will be responsible for organized football for Africa. Okay? They don't contact them and explain to them the security challenges, the war where they go on for Ambazonia, and why any person, any country will decide for send a picking them for Ambazonia, for a war zone. Now the country, now the government, it go bear responsibility. We don't get intelligence. Say La République du Cameroon, it wants sabotage the Ambazonia Defense Forces, and it wants sabotage the Governing Council of Ambazonia. We get intelligence directly. So they want to carry out an international sabotage. They don't try way for label the ADF and the Governing Council of Ambazonia as a terrorist movement because they know that the only thing that way is move the Ambazonian people then forward. All the other groups and they don't almost die. So now they know. So they define all way for bring down the ADF and the AGOFC. Guess what they plan for doing? The Cameroon army, the Cameroon intelligence operatives, they go create small groups them, what they will call them say Amber Boys. They go can't commit terrorism acts for Victoria, for Fako. When I hear fine, La République du Cameroon, between now and when this Nations Cup championship in one can start, they go kill people. Now their army, they go dress like Amber Boys, go kill people, talk say they be Amber Boys, talk say they be ADF. We want come warn the Ambazonian people them. La République du Cameroon also want use this Nations Cup for kill some of those teams that when they come for camp play for Ambazonia. And then talk say na ADF. In order for the world, African Union, and all those other countries, they label the Governing Council of Ambazonia and ADF as a terrorist movement. Now they go this. So they bring this information in advance. We want to tell the world in advance. Say Cameroon go commit acts of terrorism for Ambazonian soil for tarnish the image of ADF. This video, when I go use them by then. Today, na the 11th of January 2020. We do this message now na 8:30 p.m. for Ambazonian time. So una pay attention. Now the game of Cameroon this. Cameroon don't get any legitimacy for Ambazonia. They don't be defeated. They don't be disgraced. The only thing where they stand for Cameroon their way for fully reclaim Ambazonia and impose their will of occupation and that they are special status. The only thing will stop them are the Ambazonia Defense Forces and the Governing Council of Ambazonia. Now the only thing that will stop them. And the only thing that will stop them. So now their new game plan is would they educate the international system. The State Department of Governing Council of Ambazonia, it don't share this intelligence with the international system. It don't share this intelligence with FIFA, with African Union, and with all the country them where they are picking them. They will come play ball for Ambazonia. It is share this intelligence with them and for warn them in advance. For warn them in advance. The ground be very dangerous. We need to pray, make any person a loss in life. But any man we choose for ignore warnings and intelligence, not them, they will get themselves for blame. When I know now say Cameroon not fit impose a will anymore for Ambazonia. So when I see what happened for Andek, between Andek and Bengui the other day, now the other day too, 2 days ago, another colonial agents, they don't come out. They say the Nani year 12. They say the Nani fear died. They say the Nani year wrote. They say, oh, Amoka go keep them safe. Oh, Amoka fit protect them. So now in that they don't come out, they go carry the colonial government of Cameroon enough fit they cut them from Ambazonia and made them continue for run. Because all the president for the court they don't run, the magistrate for the court don't run, the judges for the court they don't run. Enough to keep them. For them for any court for operate, they go carry the colonial judges when are enablers to, and then import them into Ambazonia using Amoka. Now 2 days ago, 3 days ago, they don't go carry one of these judges them. For go for Ndo. May they go for court. When I watch this video, and they go tell Wuna the place where Ambazonia day and the place where like the Republic of Cameroon day in terms of their claim for control Ambazonia. When I watch. That person when I see, now the person that now face that, they don't go carry now a Frenchman, a citizen of La République du Cameroon, one of those their Cameroon magistrate them. Cameroon the training for their civil law. Now that they don't carry now, may it go be magistrate and then make it go for court for go judge Ambazonian people then. They import it from Yaoundé. They want carry go for Ndop. May go carry may go hold court cases. Now in this. The Ambazonia Defense Forces, they launch an attack on them. When I watch. That be when I see face. Not been in this way, Paul tell them say things don't return to normal for Ambazonia. They tell them say things don't return for normal for Ambazonia. They tell them say Ambazonia be safe. So why the magistrate? Now in that, it cry. Papa the cry. Hey, Pobia, why one can't kill me? Hey, Pobia, why one can't kill me? Not be saying Ambazonia things are there for normal. Now the normal this. Now the normal this. Now in that they cry. More watch the video as they kumkumize them.
Regardez la caisse. Vous pouvez pas. Non, 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 si les gens peuvent laisser le camion là, ils reviennent. Il faut laisser le camion là. Hein, tiens, là, monsieur. Prends là, monsieur. Prends là, monsieur.
Why? Why they cover your head? Nabi una say una one can govern Ambazonia. Una say una one can govern Ambazonia. So wait, why the fear again? Una go confirm.
Don't madame là. Don't madame monsieur. Continue.
You say you be chief judge.
Continue.
You want to be judge for Ambazonia, no?
Non, souffre pas.
Eh?
On veut bien tirer, mais ça ne souffre pas.
You want to be judge for Ambazonia?
Attends. Pull up.
Not when I see face. After this experience, no man will tell me come back. After that experience, no man no go tell you say go Ambazonia. He don't go taste die. He don't go taste what it be Ambazonia. No man no fit tell you anymore. He don't can get the experience. He himself don't confirm. For this battle, we lost the commander, what did they also call it, say, Commander Small Pikin. Now for this battle, he lost his life. So, when I see him very clearly, say Cameroon not get any more control from Ambazonia. They don't be defeated, they don't be humiliated. Even their judges them, they import judges them from La République du Cameroon for can hold court cases for inside Ambazonia. Judges them now that they enter Namo car for can hold court cases. When the judges are finished, they carry the farmer car back to La République du Cameroon. And then Agbobala and Belamoki, they go the full Pobia. Now the reality this. Now the reality that. The only thing where Cameroon get them for inside Ambazonia na Amoka. Nothing else. Even the Amoka, the forces, they don't get a solution for them. Nothing else. So, when I get confidence, why this kind events them, for distract we, for moving from my focus. Moving from my focus. Make what it don't happen for Mautu today. Make it cost any person. Whether you did for that group, whether they call and say Sisekwe IG. Whether you did for the group, whether they call and say Sisekwe IG care. For 4 years, when I never fit for buy guns, when I never fit for train one commander for down. For 4 years. 4. When I never fit forget a commander, even when we don't give them all the advice. Say when I look for all the commanders the way they did for down, where they don't scatter so. When I take one, when I make it be when I own commander for down, we all my feel look up to he, talk say, na Sisekwe IG, it forces than this. When I never fit for do one. 4 years. 4. Ambazonians, when I don't get enough time for the Western with groups, people where they call themselves leaders, but they not get the Canas and they not get the Bobby. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I forget to say I did talk now for television. I begin to listen. I beg. Now me them when I forgive me. Oh, I don't forget to say I don't forget to say that for ACN. I beg when I forgive me. We don't do this Facebook too much. We will just be used to now for our Facebook. I beg when I sorry, oh, that one French. So people them, they talk say they want to fight for Ambazonia independence. Now more to that. Today, 2 commanders, they called me from the state of Manu. They said they be the fight. The boy they talk said they be like Seseko. And they think say be been a government. But since 2017, so this boy today, no man never send the one bullet. No man never send the one gun. We not stop this with nonsense. For all the people them, when they talk say that they work for IG Care, when I don't let our people down for 4 years. Big brother Yerima, the game go for change. The game go for change. IG Care either make up in mind for become a humanitarian organization and focus on the refugees and the one who they did for Bush. When I leave the ADF and the governing council of Ambazonia, where they don't carry the work for the guns and the liberation where they do the work. Because as long as when I continue for deceive some of these boys, they go remain frustrated, they go increase kidnapping for ransom, and they go increase their dying. And they not get the capabilities for stand up and defend Ambazonia. All the people them, when they talk say that they support Sarko on IG. Yesterday, a big brother called me. Very interesting story. One of our big brother called me from America. He said, hey, now you be Asu Lucas. I say yes. He said, I'll be very happy for talk for you. You did do very good work for out there. I did really see your work. I really admire you. He said, but you be there for some group where they call and say Mezam County worldwide. I say, yeah, they be put me for that group. But you know, so I not come on Mezam. I be picking for Manu. So some person be put me for that group because of I be person who I like for unite people there. He thinks that by me for be for that group, or we feed the talk, and then we feed the see how we feed create collaborations between the defense groups and for them. He said, but what to make you come on for the group? I said, look, I'm not be for a group where they are chairman. He don't become an enabler, Dr. Nicolas Santos. Now he be chairman for Mezam County worldwide. He come on go join La Republic of Cameroon. So why I go be for that group? So I got to move myself out. He said, well, we don't kick it out. If you come back, I said, but wait, you want to put me back with the group. I said, look, the only reason why now you be the chairman for that group. Well, me and you fit talk about how we bring the forces them for Mezam. May they collaborate. When I know what he tell me, say, well, PS Asu, but you know say confusion over there no. You know say collaboration over hard because confusion over there no. No man no fit trust any person. I say, I said, my brother, I say, you don't bring this discussion. I tell you, say, you talk to now you be chairman for Mezam County worldwide, right? He say, yeah. I say, okay. All the confusion for a war of liberation. I say, until people like Una start to tell Una groups and Una block the truth. I say today, you can't justify why you no one make you and we will talk about collaboration for make the state of Mezame work fine. Because you did justify say trust not there. For ground the trust not there, you don't know who be who and you don't know who be who. I say when I don't forget say they say since the day when I create that when I institution where they call and say Sakwe IG. All the things we wanna do now for fight other groups, make forces them, give order them for forces them, may they fight each other. I say when I need for acknowledge that truth and tell ourselves that truth. Say now for them all the division, all the intoxication, and all the poison for the forces them for ground after they come out. He said, my brother, you talk fine. I said, but why you the acknowledge and say I talk fine? Why you not feel not get this discussion among ourselves? He said, my brother, you know as things a day. Now the mentality this. Now the things in this way that they derail the Ambazonian people. People they don't go gather themselves and they believe say they get this illusion. They get this illusion that they lie to themselves say they get power. They create structure say they want to take care of forces. But they need to take care of the forces. Then he tell me, say, oh, my brother, you come up for the state of Manu. You know, say now they control most of the forces for Manu. I said, tell me, you the control forces for Manu. Which one? He said, oh, I the control some group that they call and say Anaconda. And I laugh. I tell you, say, you know, who will be the commander of Anaconda? I say, you know the commander of Anaconda? I say, that 3 groups, they do what they call and say Anaconda. That's so that they can't take una. They use una. They manipulate una. They take una small for $500 to $200 so una they chop them. And most of that boys that we talk with them, they don't have for ground one. You claim say una get fighters, but the fighters who una claim say una get them. The commanders all them they still for ground one. We know all the fighting forces them for Manu. The Ambazonia Defense Forces control most of those forces them for Manu. We know the great generals them for Manu. We know the work that I do for Manu. We not stop for lie. We not stop for deceive ourselves. Most of the incidents that they happen for Ambazonia. Now because you got groups who they talk say that they represent Ambazonia, but they don't want to defend Ambazonia. Leaders don't know how to call gun. You know if you call gun. If you come from outside, they call gun, say rubber gun. For paper, they put a rubber gun. You know if you call gun. You fear for call gun. You call gun na rubber gun. You fear, say big rubber gun. What to be big rubber gun? Why the fear for call AK? Why the fear for call RPG? But you want to go fight war. You get forces. You don't get general. You don't get command and control. You claim when I get forces. Now one of the things in this way that is slow the Ambazonian people them down. And so now you get all these people that claim say they get forces. In reality, they need to control any force. They leave all these groups them because they bear the name, a generic name, say Restoration Forces. Siseko IG they claim say that they get Restoration Forces. Sako IG they claim say they get Restoration Forces. Now which one get Restoration Forces? Guns, they need to buy them. Bullets, they need to give them. Now the boys them now that they call 2 groups they call today for join ADF. And I tell them one thing. I say, when I don't feel just can't join ADF, so why when they call now say when I want to join ADF? They say because they need to take care of them. I say who they need to take care of now? And why they need to take care of now? Why would I choose for go the carry name and talk say when they fight for Ambazonia for groups where they not even give una granite, they not even give una chop, but they just want to take the credit, so they get forces for una name, and then they abandon una. When la Republic attack on the key una, it must stop. The Ambazonia Defense Forces, it don't prove to the Ambazonian people from day one. So the strategy for liberate Ambazonia, now for buy guns and bullets. Dr. Abba make them very clear to the international community, saying a war of liberation this. Now guns and bullets, it tell Ambazonia. He said we must come together. The boys they must rise up and defend homeland. For fight for the liberation of Ambazonia. For all the forces where they don't frustrate una, where they don't lie for una, where they don't deceive una. We are not need for be lied anymore. We now abandon all those failed structures, failed leaders, whether they prolong the suffering and pain of our people. We now join with the work. We now join the guns we now the Siam. Una join the game for true heroes and true fighters. Una not leave a mess on person use una as political tools for power where they not get them. Defense forces where they not recruit them, they not train them, they not arm them. Political scavengers. They don't know their left, they don't know their right. 4 years later, they not fit show 10 AK for ground zero. 4 years later, they not fit show one commander where they don't build him in stand for ground zero. What a shame to a people where they rise up say they want fight for independence. Na shame. The Mautu massacre. It got for woke up all Ambazonians. We got failed leaders. We got failed groups. They need to be abandoned. We need for focus for the defense of our homeland. See the work where Ambazonian defense forces that they do. In the last just 2 months and 3 weeks, we Dr. Eba launched the stabilization force. He can't tell the Ambazonian people them. Every stage, he give the people them the roadmap. Every stage, it define the next stage based on our progress and the next strategy. It can launch the stabilization force. It say for place who they now, for we for be able for stop nations cup, for we for be able for project ground zero. We need for put 250 AK, and the general said yes, the assessment be accurate. Now what you need on this 250 AK for build a stabilization force for project Ambazonia. Make Ambazonia may be strong, both on the ground, so that we get diplomatic leverage. Because we got this, all these forces them for ground, and the need for defend the various blocks. The need for defend the various blocks, but we need a centralized force when I go be responsible for take care of the big action them. Now I go be responsible for carry out the big operation them. With the small peripheral forces, they not fit carry them out. He lay out this plan. In the last 2 months and 3 weeks, the Governing Council of Ambazonia, it don't deliver 75 powerful automatic rifles. We talk about M16. We talk about AK. We talk about the G magazine. We talk about high power materials. 75 of them. Just for 2 months and 3 weeks. Wait till the Governing Council of Ambazonia. It don't deliver them in just 2 months and 3 weeks. It passed all the materials with Sakoi IG and Yerimai IG. They don't put them for ground zero in 4 years. In just 2 months and 3 weeks, the materials where the Governing Council don't put them for ground zero for the AD of their hand, for the special forces, for phase 1 of the special forces. They be much more than Weti, Sakoi IG, and Yerimai IG combined. They don't put our ground zero since 2017. And that one only for the special forces. Because one launched phase 1 of the special forces. That's leadership. With a core plan, a core strategy. So I want to appeal for every Ambazonian. When I don't play politics, that politics don't prolong only the suffering and the pain of the Ambazonian people there. And it gives La Republique du Cameroon the space for ground zero. It makes La Republique become hopeful. So if he take back ground zero. Wait till be the use for we for live and Cameroon regain Ambazonia just because we get failed leaders who no one leave them. We get failed organizations where they be totally ineffective and they don't be hijacked by the infiltrators. They don't be hijacked by La Republique du Cameroon for derail the revolution, for derail the war. What be the use for continually support these groups? So I want to appeal for every Ambazonian. If you see what it don't happen for Mao to vex your heart, join Ambazonia Defense Forces and support the guns and the bullet for put real materials for ground zero for defend homeland. If what it happen, the killings of Ambazonia picking the Mamami, it vex you. Join the governing council of Ambazonia. Take your money, put them for place where you go see materials. I promised you last week. Say the general they prepare for launch the first phase of the stabilization force. The first phase of the stabilization force, it go be now a 100-man squad of the special forces, what they call and say the stabilization force. The stabilization force now the special forces of the ADF. When then they go take charge, they go lead the big operations them. Now they go carry out the kind big action them. Now then they go carry out the kind big mission them. Now then they will enter big cities. So they launch the first phase. Wait I don't see him. It don't give me the highest honor for effective leadership. Waiting my eye, it don't carry and see him. For waiting we don't put them for ground. For the trust with the Ambazonian people, they don't give we. Every cent and more would deliver them, would take them, would convert them into materials. When I go see una special forces and every single Ambazonian, your heart go over sweet. When I go see una special forces of what it mean for get a leadership where you get a vision and you get a strategy and the people that you walk, not be mob, that you walk. I don't with the leader and the team for governing council of Ambazonia for the last 2 months and 3 weeks. With the trust of the Ambazonian people there. With the money we una give them. Una go see una equipments, una go see una forces, and every person you go buy your glass of wine, you buy your biscuit, you buy your Fanta, you buy your canned Coke, you go put them for up so you say, chai, these people that work, they mean business for Liberate Ambazonia. They mean business for Project Ground Zero. They mean business for give Ambazonian dominance and control of their land. They mean business for Liberate Homeland. Not be noise. Not be an empty noise for activists. For gain popularity. Now for Liberate Homeland. Una go see una special forces. The general go deliver una special forces for all una. Now the first phase. Now a game changer for the Ambazonian people then. Now a game changer for place where they go. Now the greatest hope. Now the greatest joy. It will change everything for our people then. Every person where you never ever contribute for the ADF, when you see the special forces, you go join the ADF. You go start contribute for the ADF. And you go do so with happiness. We don't set a standard where any group we talk say it want fight for Ambazonia independence. We don't set a standard where any group it get for being measured by. A standard of transparency, a standard of public accountability through materials delivery. A standard for deliver results for the Ambazonian people then. We don't set that standard of commitment. Commitment for advocate for a people then. Commitment for sacrifice for a people then. Commitment for stand up for defend the dignity, the rights of the Ambazonian people then. We don't set that standard and we don't define that standard. Every group, every movement, it will be measured by that standard. So any person we want to talk about accountability, make the group where they give them money, make they show you what they bill for ground. Mr. Mano can't tell you, say, oh, we didn't have a war, so you know if you show your forces. The forces they get face now. All the forces they get face. Make the first, if you don't want to show their faces, give them face mask. Now 10 AK, you give your 10 soldiers them 10 AK. They wear face mask. They stand up outside. They talk in a AK this. Now 10 AK this. Where Yerima, it deliver them for we. When I tell me if I don't ever see one video, 10 boys, they stand for line. 10. They say na 10 AK this way Yerima deliver them for we. When I don't ever see them. They say na 10 AK this. Where Sako it deliver them for we. When I don't ever see them. The governing council of Ambazonia, now the leading movement, will champion the independence and freedom for the Ambazonian people then. Bo Herbert, the group, it need to exist again. Morris, it need to exist. Bo Herbert, now a mere activist. APLM of Dr. Akwanga, it need to exist again. Dr. Akwanga or Professor Akwanga, now a mere activist. He not be a leader. Because he don't get any structure, we make you a leader. Alright? Yerima don't take Sisekui, IG, it turn them into a humanitarian organization. And we believe so they be very good for do humanitarian. And if finds make Yerima, it takes Sisekui IG, it convert them into Ambazonia humanitarian organization. Because they be good at it. May they focus on what they be good at. Taking care of the refugees and taking care of the one they did for Bush. It go over fine. So that we get division of labor. Then the focus on refugees, the governing council focus for the liberation. It go help our people, they adjust. And it help our people, they focus. When our special forces, they come. Tomorrow, the leader for a war of independence, Dr. Ayabacho, is going to be outside tomorrow. On Friday, we'll talk about the need for Ambazonia them for deliver 10,000 bullets to the forces because of the kind battles the way they carry for La Republic of Cameroon. They got enough. But one action, for just one big action, if you take up to 1,000 bullets, one action, when you send a big force for an assault mission, within 2-3 hours, they will use 1,000 bullets. So the leader will come tomorrow to talk more to the Ambazonian people as he already defined the goals for 2021. We'll come more tomorrow. The leader will talk with the people then. We'll get for stay focused for bleed La Republique du Cameroon. The forces, they will carry out big assault mission for La Republique du Cameroon all across the territory. They be ready. The forces of Ambazonia Defense Forces, they get enough materials, enough AK, enough big guns them. Now I forgive them the bullets for the carry out the big action without running out of, how they talk, without them for not get enough bullets. So that halfway for their mission, they know they run out of bullets, and then they will feel they retreat. No, we're going to forgive them enough. So I also appeal for any person, just like our brother for that country, for Africa, we give 500 bullets. We appeal for all Ambazonians. Them. Send me a message directly, contact me directly, so that we'll make sure we'll get these 10,000 bullets as the forces they plan these big actions and battle at the public day in, day out, because the next few days and the next few weeks they will be very crazy. ADF don't put a lot of game plan for Ground Zero, and on the year news every single day for Ground Zero. Any play with year action, me no say ADF. It be tell you, all right. We don't the forces that the commanders that they on mission. We see reports for all across the 13 states. So things are there for pipeline where ADF don't set and fine. Ground Zero as we promise, it go shake. Cameroon, it go for crack. Ambazonia, we get for stand fine. So make we focus, make we not fall into the trap for make we lost our focus. We get for focus on the plan. We get for focus on the strategy. No matter what happen, stay focused on the plan and the strategy. The game don't be over for Pobia. There is no rescue. Not enough to rescue Pobia. The war against the institutions of occupation, the war against the enablers, them, the people that they sponsor occupation, administer occupation, and colonialism for Ambazonia. The war, this war, now two targets the day. Primary target, now the Cameroon army, police, gendarmes, and B, because now they pose the biggest threat. The second target, now all Cameroon institutions of occupation and colonialism, and their colonial administrators. That means it include the governors, the SDOs, the DOs, any person who represent Cameroon interests for Ambazonia, a senator, a parliamentarian, and councillors. All those people where they impose their will on the Ambazonian people, they be legitimate target for the war of liberation, because now then they administer colonialism, occupation, and then now them they run the war for inside Ambazonia. All right. So our forces they carry out these plans for make sure say they dismantle everything we represent or symbolize Cameroon occupation and colonialism for Ambazonia. 2021 will be a very beautiful year for the Ambazonian people. The first week, it don't be very good. We don't do great work. We enter now for the second week for 2021. The team will go change the whole game now in a stabilization force, on a special forces. The gift, a New Year gift to the Ambazonian people. Waiting my eye don't see them. It not only be very beautiful, it be very sexy. Waiting the general don't build them for ground and go present them for the Ambazonian people then. It be very sexy. When I forces them, they look so fine. All the girls who they never married, when I see the ADF special forces them, any man go they call me PS. What be that one in name? PS. What be that one in name? PS. What be that boy in name? What be that commander in name? All man, all these guys they never married. I know say when they send me message, say chai. Now so boys are fine. See their uniform, nyang. See boots, see better, gang. See better guitar. ADF, now the hope for Ambazonia. The Ambazonia Defense Forces, now the hope for the liberation of Ambazonia. Waiting my eyes, they don't see them in terms of waiting the general don't build them for the stabilization force. It be very sweet, it be very beautiful, and it be very sexy. But most important thing, it be very powerful for end Cameroon occupation of Ambazonia. We'll talk for all tomorrow. And they talk this for today. When I get a very beautiful evening, when I get a very good night, when I stay very hopeful, when I stay confident, when I stay strong, the leader will come out tomorrow. They go get a discussion with Ambazonian people then. They go come out tomorrow for the operation 10,000 AK bullets for all man. So prepare tomorrow. The leader don't promise merciless armed resistance. Tomorrow, he go to explain what to be merciless armed resistance. And how I see the launch the stabilization force, which will be the expectation. Now prepare tomorrow. Prepare your bullets for tomorrow. All right? We'll talk with all man tomorrow. We love all una. Una stay fine. May God bless all man. Una good night.